Welcome to Insightful Key Coaching Moments with Coach Pam. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a life-changing journey like no other. These aren't just coaching moments, they're breakthrough moments, supercharged with spiritual dietary direction, a powerful process of feeding your mind and emotions with the right spiritual nutrition to completely shift. Coach Pam brings the fire with insightful keys that break down barriers, unlock purpose, fuel your goals, and launch you into your God-ordained destiny. Are you ready? Let's go. Welcome to Insightful Key Coaching Moments with Coach Pam. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a life-changing journey like no other. These aren't just coaching moments, they're breakthrough moments, supercharged with spiritual dietary direction, a powerful process of feeding your mind and emotions with the right spiritual nutrition to completely shift. Coach Pam brings the fire with insightful keys that break down barriers, unlock purpose, fuel your goals, and launch you into your God-ordained destiny. Are you ready? Let's go. Welcome to Insightful Key Coaching Moments with Coach Pam. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a life-changing journey like no other. These aren't just coaching moments, they're breakthrough moments, supercharged with spiritual dietary direction, a powerful process of feeding your mind and emotions with the right spiritual nutrition to completely shift. Coach Pam brings the fire with insightful keys that break down barriers, unlock purpose, fuel your goals, and launch you into your God-ordained destiny. Are you ready? Let's go.
All right. Well, surprise, surprise, it's Sunday evening, and I just thought I'd jump on here for a few. Welcome to Key Coaching Moments with Coach Pam, and I am your host for the next 10 minutes or so. I'm trying to keep it short. It's Sunday evening. I know we've had a full day. It is right before the holidays, and I just thought it would be a good idea to jump on here as we've been talking about introspection, right? And as we go into the holidays, sometimes we may be experiencing an array of emotions, um, happiness, sadness, you name it. And for the holiday season, it's been pinned as the season to be jolly, right? And so I thought it'd be a good idea to talk about what does that mean? Like, what is jolly? Jolly to one person is not necessarily jolly to another, right? And so I just wanted to jump on and kind of dive into, as we continue talking about introspection, that self-awareness, understanding our personal motives, gaining insight into our personal experiences and how those experiences have impacted our actions, our behaviors. Um, just looking at that and realizing that maybe I could possibly be experiencing some emotional mirages, some emotional mirages. And so I just want to sit that with you. I just want to sit it right there and let you think about that. Because remember, as we do introspection, it's a process. And as we go through this process of examining our thoughts, our feelings, again, our motives, our mental processes, we're looking within, but we're not just looking to see, we're looking to see and to deal. We're looking to see and to deal with what we find. There should be some findings. And as we find, we want to address. We don't want to walk away and forget what manner of man we are. We don't want to look at it and walk away and say, no, that's not what's going on. That's not me. But we want to deal with this so that we can be made better. We can grow in our emotional growth. We can have emotional growth, but we can also have spiritual growth. And so what is an emotional mirage? Do I have some folks on here with me yet? I know it's a pop-up, and so some folks may get it on the latter end and come in and watch a little later on. But what an emotional mirage? What is it? It's a compelling but false perception, false perception of emotional connection, or an overwhelming, confusing mix of feelings. And so, as we talk about emotional mirages, we got to talk about what is a mirage, folks. What is a mirage? How do we even experience mirages? What is a mirage? Is it obscured vision? Is it something that well, let me just talk about it from my book, Toxic Relationships, Another Addiction. Is it love, or are you just thirsty? A mirage. We want to talk about mirage. We want to talk a little bit about that, about hallucinations, because we, in our emotional condition, we may begin to see things in ways that they are not necessarily. It might be relationships. It might be a job. It might be good evening, sister B, Mama B. Good evening. Glad you jumped on here with me. A mirage is an optical illusion, folks. It is an optical illusion in which distant objects appear to be nearby. Think about that. An optical illusion in which distant objects appear to be nearby. Now, I don't know about you, but I've had some situations where I thought it was one thing and turns out it was something else. What about you? In our experiences, what we go through in life has it can make us, our experiences can make us bitter or better, right? And we filter our current experiences through what we've been through in the past. In other words, our beliefs are developed as a result of the experiences that we've had and how we have framed those experiences. Good evening, Brandy. How we frame those experiences. And so our beliefs are our filters. They determine how we see things. We interpret through our internal lenses that have been altered by our experiences. And so we can end up making having some situations that we choose that are toxic situations. But I want to again, as we did in the last key coaching moments, I want to again address toxic labeling. I want to address labeling because it's imperative that we stop labeling ourselves and allow ourselves to deal with what it is that's going on with us so that we can heal and move forward. And as we approach this holiday season, again, as it's often called, the season to be jolly, what we don't want to do is base our inward condition or our feelings on the outward appearances of others. And we've got to talk about appearances because we are in the age of technology where there are so many there's so much interaction with other people, and they could be in other nations, but we see what they want us to see. We see the exterior. Now, that was true before technology, before there was Instagram or Facebook, just in dealing with people in their lives. So often we would see this outer exterior and they just look so jolly and they look so happy, but we had no idea what was going on behind the scenes. But we only encountered those people here and there. But now with technology, we are constantly seeing the happy face that people want to display. And if we're not careful, which is why we're doing an introspection, If we're not careful, we will base how we think we should feel on how we think others are feeling or doing. And that can create some toxicity. That can create such a toxicity that it can even cause us to begin to make choices based on what we think we should be doing rather than who and what we really are and should be doing, based on our purpose in the earth, not based on somebody else's function or their purpose. And so listen, let's stop labeling ourselves. Perhaps you've made some toxic choices. That doesn't mean you're toxic. You see, toxic is defined as something composed of or containing poisonous material capable of causing serious debilitation, which prevents one from having a healthy metabolism. Stay with me here, because as we metabolize naturally, so we also have a metabolism spiritually and emotionally. Natural metabolism is the body's ability to break down substances appropriately and use those substances for what they were intended. Metabolism spiritually is our ability to break down situations, experiences, and use them for what they can be used for. All things work together, right? Use them for what they can be used for, being made better by our experiences and not being made bitter or broken. And so whenever, naturally speaking, whenever the body is unable to metabolize or break down substances, what we experience is inflammation, toxins in the body. And we may experience arthritis as a result of it, toxins in the body. So it is emotionally. When we have emotional toxins and we're not dealing with the toxins, we get emotional inflammation. And when we have emotional inflammation, we can begin to go into a state of thirst. Okay, a state of thirst. And thirst, if it's addressed, all is well. But if it's not, it goes into dehydration. I'm almost done here. So thirst is an eager, famishing, all-consuming craving, folks. It's a discomfort. It's a discomfort. You know what it's like to be thirsty, and you would give anything for a glass of water, a sip of water. An eager, famishing, all-consuming craving is a discomfort caused by a need. If you ever been thirsty, drop me a 1 in the chat. Let me know you're listening. You here with me. If you've ever been thirsty and you know that discomfort, and you might be driving in your car and you are so thirsty, and you look around, you don't have a bottle of water and your mouth is dry, but as soon as you get to where you're going, you grab you some water. Now, if you grab some Kool-Aid or some juice, you are not going to satisfy your thirst. You just had something wet and it's temporary, but you still have a condition, a thirst condition. And if it's unmet, if your thirst is unmet, we have spiritual needs that are also unmet. If our spiritual thirst is not met, it gives way to a depletion of spiritual nourishment. And then we go into dehydration. I see you, Brandy. We go into dehydration, folks. And when we go into a state of dehydration, we begin to hallucinate and see mirages. We begin to see who and what we want to see instead of who and what is really there. And so again, we must stop labeling ourselves. We are not toxic, though we may have made some toxic choices, but our vision can be restored. Our obscured vision can be cleared up, but what we need is living water. So we're going to continue this conversation on our next Key Coaching Moments. So make sure you stay tuned for the pop-ups, and we will talk further on Emotional Mirages, and we'll pick up next time with, is it love or are you just thirsty?
Tuning in. Keep a lookout for more Key Coaching Moments with Coach Pam. There are so many more powerful insights coming your way. For more information on coaching and trainings and how to unlock the next level of your life, visit www.keyinsightstraining.com. Until next time, stay inspired, stay aligned, and keep unlocking your destiny, one key at a time.